Puerto Rico is known as a tropical paradise, in part because of its gorgeous beaches.
Check out our previous video rating some of the top beaches if you want to, by the way.
But also, Puerto Rico is a paradise for food lovers.
From fresh coconuts, rice, root vegetables, roasted pork, tons of seafood, and of course, mofongo. There's so much to try. But there are 3 foods locals cannot live without. Here's how to eat like a local Puerto Rican.
All right, so we're here at my favorite bakery to get pan sobao in my hometown in Caguas. Basically in Puerto Rico, we have 2 main kinds of bread that we eat. One is Panda Agua and one is pan sobao. This is my favorite place from pan sobao. Basically pan sobao, I think it's like made with lard, and it's sweeter and it's softer. And we're gonna go get some and try. All right, I got the goodies.
So we're going to Panaderia de
Carrasquillo.
Carrasquilla?
Panaderia Carrasquillo.
Panaderia Cascari.
You can read it.
Panaderia Carrasquillo.
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 There you go.
Panaderia Carrasquillo. This is a bakery in Gurabo where we come very frequently. I am practicing my Spanish too, so we're gonna get our Panda Agua in Espanol. Panda Agua is a really popular bread in Puerto Rico. It's kind of like the bread they use on Cuban sandwiches, but it's like light, it's crispy, it's airy. They use it on every sandwich imaginable. It's like a staple. Una libra de pan de agua.
You got it.
Feeling good about myself.
Doing great.
Y donas, un donas y dos quesitos.
Good job.
Let's get this bread.
Literally.
Literally. So you can tell. So this is a very special part of the bread. It's called the culito, which in Spanish means little butt. No one wants to eat the little butt, but I love the little butt. It's good. Mwah. It's a good little butt of bread. Now we're heading to La Plaza, which is the town square. This is very Spanish, European style construction you'll find in Puerto Rico. Every little city has like a little town square with a little church and the city hall and like a giant fountain and a whole bunch of cute little stuff in it. So we're gonna eat all of our bread over here.
We're here at La Plaza de Gurabo, Gurabo Town Square, and we are going to try all the different goodies that we got.
Oh yeah, starting with the bread. Bread in Puerto Rico is like a big deal. I feel like every time I come here, you guys will just take a piece of bread and just slather it with butter, and that's like lunch or breakfast with coffee.
So good. So good.
First, we're trying pan sobao.
Yum.
So this is the bread that you got. Where was that again?
Panaderia Valletolina. That's the bakery in Caguas, my hometown. And it's my favorite. It's my favorite bakery where I buy pan sobao from.
Look at this loaf, man.
And they give you 2.
This is one of 2. Look at this.
Yep.
You can make a mean sandwich out of this.
This was like around $2.50, I think.
That's with inflation. Good grief.
Yeah.
All right, let's bust into this bad boy. All right, do you want the culito?
I don't want the culito.
You know what? She never wants the culito. That's the little butt.
The little butt.
The little butt.
Which is like the end of the loaf. What do you think?
It's like eating a cloud.
Sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's just a hint of sweet.
Like you could eat this as a dessert or as just like a regular bread.
This is my favorite out of the 2, out of the Panda Agua and pan sobao. I like pan sobao for better because I don't know, it's just sweet and like soft and yummy, and especially when you have it like warm and you put butter on it. so good. 1 to 10, how would you rate pan soao?
I mean, it's so light, it's so fluffy, it's so airy. It gets at least an 8. It's probably too sweet for most sandwiches, although we've seen it grilled and put into a bunch of stuff. We have this with tripletas.
Yes.
Yeah.
They use this for tripletas,
Which
which
is
is a sandwich with 3 different kind of meats: pork, ham, and steak, I think.
Amazing sandwich.
Next up, we have,
Panda Agua.
and we got this one from,
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna say it right. Carrasquillo.
yeah,
Panaderia de Carrasquillo.
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 And so what you got to say about Panda Agua?
Panda Agua it's like the baguette of America. It's versatile. You can make any sandwich with it. It's hard on the outside, but like soft on the inside. I'm gonna bust off the culito. Look at that. Crispy on the inside, but nice. Soft. Still airy. But if you come to Puerto Rico, this will probably be the bread that they serve you most things in. This is their all-purpose utility bread, and it's great for everything. And if you go to most bakeries, panaderias around here, they all have Panda Agua. Every single one. And they are all each different. They all each have a different texture, different consistency. So you really got to go around or follow a local to know where to get some good ones.
Yeah, and like I said, everyone has their favorite panaderia, their favorite bakery, and their favorite bread. Like I said, I have one favorite bakery for Panda Agua, another favorite bakery for pan soao, and those are the ones I go to when I come to my hometown.
Yep. This one, I'd rate this one probably about an 8. It's not as sweet as pan soao. It's not my favorite bread. Pan soao takes that cake, but it's still a really good bread.
And that's a long loaf too.
It's super huge. How much was this one?
I want to say it's like $2 too. Around
Yeah.
$2.
You can get like a solid loaf of bread, a giant loaf of bread, for about $2.50 at any panaderia.
Or less, really, a little bit less too.
Yeah.
We're here at the coffee aisle in a Puerto Rican grocery store. Like, coffee in Puerto Rico is really important. They drink it at all hours of the day, and they always drink it one way, and that's hot. What's great about it though is they have a lot of different kinds of coffee. I didn't always like coffee, but like I got into coffee because of Puerto Rican coffee. Now, Will Marie used to always bring home tons of bags of these, Cafe Crema, which is a really nice, really tasty coffee. It's super cheap. You can get this bag for $2.19, which is really cheap. Same thing for Yaucono, which is pretty similar. It's a little bit more expensive. These are like rough ground, and you still have your espresso finely ground blocks that are freeze dried over here. A couple of friends who saw us on Instagram and found out that I like Puerto Rican coffee, so they just sent me a whole bunch of them. But there's so much more. I tried Cafe Rico. I tried El Coqui, which is named after their frog. It was pretty good. I mean, they're all great coffees. You can't go wrong with any of them. Cafe Lareño, that's from a town, Lareño, that we visited. That's where we got the ice cream from. But my favorite is probably Cafe Oro. It's really good. I got my mom hooked on this. She goes through these bags pretty quickly now, where she didn't really drink coffee before. But pretty good. We walked in and someone saw us like about to film, and they were like, "Oh, you got to try Cafe Casa Grande." So we got that now in the cart. But we're gonna give this a try, because most of these are like mixes with Puerto Rican coffee and other imported coffee. But this is the one that's like actually 100% Puerto Rican coffee. So I want to see what this tastes like. We're going to take this home too. This is also going into the cart. Swish, 10 points. That's not how basketball works. Next. Okay, so we're back at the house. at Wilmer's mom's house on a rainy Puerto Rican day, which makes it a perfect time to drink coffee. Although any time's a perfect time in Puerto Rico to drink coffee. All right, so we have Cafe Oro, which is one of my favorite brands. This is the brand that I give to my parents, and they'll go through this by the bagfuls. This turned them on to coffee. One of my favorite coffees here. We even visited the one of the processing plants. So let's give it a try. Obviously, I made this traditional Puerto Rican style, cafe latte, tons of milk, a little bit of sugar. Let's go. Great coffee. Honestly, you can drink this with anything. Perfect for breakfast. Full body, full taste. And we've got a little bit of pan sobao with the butter in it. So that makes a perfect Puerto Rican breakfast right there. But I could drink this all day. Let's get to some of the new stuff that we found in the coffee shop, or in the grocery store. This is Cafe Casa Grande. So this was recommended to us in the grocery store. This is a medium roast, a medium blend. So let's give it a try. We did this as espresso style. Wow, that's really good. Cafe Oro might actually have some competition. It's got a really, really earthy taste to it. Full body as well. This might hold a second candle to Cafe Oro. I want to give this a try. Okay, so these two, as we said before, these two are mixes. So these are both mixes of Puerto Rico and imported coffee. So what I really want to see is how this one tastes. Oh, excuse me. Cafe Cibales. Cafe Cibales. So it's 100% Arabica premium beans only from Puerto Rico. So we made this as an espresso as well. I'm really curious to see how pure Puerto Rican coffee stacks up to mixes. Sorry. Wow, not actually my favorite. I'm not. Now this stands heads and shoulders above American coffee, any American coffee really, but not exactly my favorite. If I had to put these into a ranking, it would probably be 1, 2, and 3, with 2 and 3, the Casa Grande and Cafe Oro being very, very close. We were talking to some of our friends who are also into coffee, and they were saying that even though they import a lot of coffee beans from other areas in the Caribbean and in South America, they process them here. So, you know, if you know coffee, you know it's not just the beans, it's the entire process, how they're ground, how they're roasted, how they're bagged, how they're sealed, how they're mixed, like what portion of which coffees that they use. So I don't think that having a only 100% Puerto Rican coffee brand that I don't like says anything bad about Puerto Rican coffee. These two are definitely still some of my favorites.
All right, we're gonna get your favorite thing, Bakalito.
Yeah.
One of the many, many fried Puerto Rican foods.
So what we get?
We got everything. We actually came for one thing, but we got more than we came for.
Sounds pretty typical of us.
I know.
This that we've got right here, this is what we got at the stand earlier. It's Bakalito. It is cod that is like made up into like a pancake and kind of deep fried.
Like a cod fritter.
Like a cod fritter. And it is super huge, super crispy, and it's super tasty. The fish is like just perfectly weaved throughout it, and it's just salty, You get like these little pockets of fish that are nice and spongy. It's one of my favorite fried Puerto Rican foods. I could eat this all day. All right, another thing that we got was alcapurria. Alcapurria, and it's fried dough stuffed with like meat, usually ground beef, but the dough is made from plantains and yautía, which is another like root vegetable. You get these a lot; they're really popular. I always like that it has like the nice ground beef right in the middle. It tastes like plantains, which like everything in Puerto Rico does, because it has plantains. It's kind of crispy on the outside, but it's really doughy and chewy. My favorite thing, super salty. And this is another one that you find everywhere. It's sorojito de maíz, which is, maíz is corn, and sorojito is, it's a word that they use. You find them like really small usually, like thin, and they'll always serve it with mayo ketchup. You'll find that all the time here in Puerto Rico. They love mayo ketchup better than they love mayo, and they love ketchup. But it's like kind of like a sweetened corn stick, and this one since it's so thick and juicy, so meaty, you can tell they filled it with cheese. It's kind of like a stuffed corn dog, a little bit. It's really crispy. It's got that little bit of cheese on the inside, but it's really sweet. I feel like it's almost a dessert. I'm really excited about this. This is Oregano De Papa, which is another fried Puerto Rican street food. It is just a big old ball of a potato. It was deep fried and it's got meat in the middle. Relleno means just stuffed. Everything is stuffed. But if you say relleno, they'll just give you one of these. My God. Yeah, we got meat right in the middle. That soft mashed potatoes. It's creamy and salty.
I feel like if you had to be king of Puerto Rico, you would need a staff of bread. Like,
Yes.
I feel like that would be required.
Yes, you look like the king of bread.
That's what the king of bread looks like.
This is how they should advertise tourism to Urao.
We have bread.